Hey, what's up, good people? How you doing? Welcome back to Stock Up with Larry Jones. You guys, it's important to me that you follow that prompter and hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell. Make sure those notifications are checked. People are not getting their notifications. Anything I say is not a suggestion to buy, hold, or sell. Hey, at the end of this video, make sure you check out all of the links. Man, Webull still has a massive promotion going on. I want you guys to take advantage of it and check out the other links. We got Coinbase and Moomoo under there. Let's talk about that at the end. Let's get right into it. I want to get right into some important information. Okay, so listen. I want to talk about guilt by association. Okay, what's happening with the stock market. Earlier when I looked today, banks were doing okay, right? The market was pretty flat. So at the time of shooting this, the markets was pretty flat. We have an hour left to go on the market, and it is Monday. So let's get ready for this week. I want to look at a few stock. A lot of you guys have actually been looking at. And I just wanted to show you what I call guilt by association, meaning I see opportunity while things are selling off. And sometimes a company, because it's in the same, let's say you have an EV play and then one EV tanks. Let's say Tesla tanks and all EVs start getting hit. I call that guilt by association. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with those companies. It just means that it's taking it down. Now we know that Netflix and Tesla will be reporting, this week. And those are two humongous companies, right? And they will move the market up or down. And this week is not just this week, this season is earnings seasons. And so what's going to happen is these earnings report are going to move the entire stock market up or down, right? And so let's just look at a few things here. I just want to keep it going and hit you guys with some information, hopefully that will be helpful to you guys. Let's look. So a lot of you guys have been asking about Vlta. What I want to share with you about Vlta, because when there's nothing to talk about, you're kind of scared to talk about it because you don't know what the stock or the crypto is going to do. I'm going to look at you guys and tell you guys that, listen, there is no buy signal, but I have some buy orders in. So remember, anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. You have to do your own research. But I'm going to go out on a limb and shine some light on this situation called Vlta. Right. So we know that the CEO abruptly left. Lawsuits don't scare me because every EV has had a lawsuit. Just if you're new, every single EV has had some lawsuit or another. They don't faze me at all. But let's look at this, right? Let's go back. Vlta reports fourth quarter year over year end of 2021 financial results. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at what happened. Fourth quarter revenue increased 45% year over year, all right, to 12.1 million. Annual revenue increased 66% year over year, 32 million, right? 44% year over year growth in total installed stalls, the charging stations, right? As of December 31st of last year. And so you look at this, right? And you go, wow. Now this was 3 days ago, which was Thursday, because, Friday was a holiday, right? And so let's take a look at what's happening with Vlta. So what I did is I have a buy-in order at around 255, and I'm stair-stepping it down to 250, okay? So what I'm saying to you guys is I have a buy order because I'm looking at everything. If they put a halfway decent CEO in, the stock is so oversold, let me bag off. Let me not say oversold. The stock is so beat down to where I'm comfortable to buy at these prices. So I have a buy in at 255. Now, it hit 255. It actually hit 250, okay? So what I did was it hit 250 before I put my buy order in, and then I put some at 255. So now what I'm doing is I'm still going to start dollar cost averaging in at 255. And depending on the money that you have, I'm starting at 255. And then if it goes lower to 250 again, I just believe that it's in a range because there's a lot more volume happening, right? And so as we could see that the stock is down 6%. But let's look at this, good people. Remember, the topic of this video is guilt by association, right? So let's look. Let's look at Vlta, EVgo, and ChargePoint. ChargePoint is pretty flat, but look at EVgo. EVgo has been steady this entire journey. EVgo has been green this entire journey, and now it's down by 11%. Vlta is down by about 6%, right? ChargePoint is flat. So Vlta is down this much today, literally guilt by association. Their earnings was pretty good, but now we know that the earnings got delayed. We know that the CEO abruptly left, which is a red flag. So I'm telling you guys, do not go and load up on Vlta and come back here and say, thank you, Larry, if it continues to fall. I'm going to look you in the camera and tell you right now, Vlta is a falling knife, right? You know, for those of you that are new, you don't catch a falling knife because you're going to get cut. I'm telling you, it's a falling knife. Myself, it's a long-term play for me at these prices. The Vlta that I'm buying at these prices, I plan on holding for years. If you don't plan on holding for years, since it is a falling knife, I suggest that you do not buy it. So good people, help me keep the page clean. If it falls again tomorrow and somebody say I loaded up, y'all remember, come back and say, he told you not to do that. All right. So I'm just being very clear on what I'm doing. All right, let's keep it going. So let's look at Disney, right? You see Disney, right? Disney's down 2%. But let's look at Nflx. Here we go again, guilt by association. We know about the political situation that's going on with Disney, right? You know, the whole don't say gay stuff, which Disney should just be about all of their streams of revenue and stay out of these politics. But anyway, here we are. But let's look at Nflx is not doing well. Remember when it tanked by like 20 or 25% last quarter, and it's still tanking. Now it's down 1.5%. And Walt Disney is down 2%, right? And so these are some guilt by association plays that myself personally, especially a company like Walt Disney, that I feel okay with getting in. Now, PE ratio on Disney is insane to some people, all right? It's the PE ratio. Look at this. PE 75, right? But you can't put a PE ratio on Disney the same way you do as Nflx, good people, because what does Nflx do? They're a streaming service. What else do they do? Nothing, right? But what does Disney do? Streaming service. They own the sports channel. They own ABC. They own Disneyland, Disney World. They're in the NFTs. They got like 12 different streams of revenue. And so that's why you could justify the PE ratio. And then, of course, you have to put in earnings and forward earnings to see if it's a fair evaluation for this company. Now, their forward earnings to me is going to have a bright outlook, all right? And I believe that Disney is in a range where it's actually a buying opportunity. But again, I will not start putting a lot of money in. I would just begin to start nibbling off. Okay, so don't go run and dump all your money in. So that's what I want to point out to you guys. If you see any other companies that you think that may be guilt by association, leave me a comment below, meaning that because the sector is down, it's getting beat down. And it happens a lot of times with tech and EVs, right? And so we have to look at where we can make money. And let's face it, if the supply chain, which China is having shutdowns, right, because of COVID. But here in the Midwest, which is a big chunk of America, it's starting to warm up. I believe that the numbers are going to start to flatten and get better month over month, and we'll be in the summertime. People still have a ton of savings and they're itching to get out. Hotel bookings are up, airline bookings all-time high. And so I'm betting on the future. And I'm going to leave by saying this. We have to look at what I was talking about last week, and that is inflation. I have 3 inflection points that I look for. Everybody talks about peak inflation, right? When does it peak? I want to let you know, most of the time when it peaks, the stock market actually starts to go back up again. And yes, there's a lot of inflation. There's a lot of inflation going on right now. We know oil is high. We know the food supply, because of the geopolitical situation, is high. So I'm looking for 3 points of inflection. I'm looking for peak inflation, and then I'm looking for flattening, all right? So I don't believe it's just going to peak and then come right back down. I believe it'll peak and then it'll flatten for a period. So I look for peak, flatten, and then I look for inflation to start falling. Okay. And so I believe that the market will react accordingly. All right, good people, I'm going to leave it right there. You guys leave me a comment if anything I've said has helped you, or to shine a light on anything. Make sure you check out these links, okay? Check out these links, okay? The one that I'm really going to promote today is Webull, because of the free stock that you're going to get for $1. Free stock, okay? And so we got Moomoo down there and we got Coinbase down there. But Webull, everything has a time limit. So if you've deposited any links, be it Webull, Moomoo, or Coinbase, I suggest to you to fund them. Just put $100 into all of them, good people, and let's be ready to make money. Yes, it's going to be a turbulent ride. It's going to be a very volatile market, but there's a lot of money to be made. And when the recession does come, which could be pushed back as far as 2024, it all depends on the Fed, okay? But there's money to be made until then, because there's a lot of lagging indicators that have yet to happen before a true recession happens. All right, good people, I love you guys. We're going to talk to you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow is Technical Tuesday with my man, Josh Nichols. Be here, all right? Love you guys. Live, love, laugh, and learn.